Hey guys, Angry Monkey here.
And Jackson Ferrell from Hot Pile of Garbage.
We're doing some more 999, and Ace is sacrificing himself and passing out on a hospital bed to take a nap. And so Santa says, okay, Junpei, what door do you want? Do you want door 3, 7, or 8? We've already done door 7. So which door do you want to go through, door 3 or door 8?
Well, at your off-camera advice, I will take door 3 and see what manner of interesting things are behind door number 3.
No. You can't, man.
Huh? Why?
Because it's impossible. If we split ourselves into 3 and 3, then we give up on going through door 3.
Why?
The bracelet numbers for the 6 of us are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 2 combinations that you can go through door 3 with 3 people, 3, 4, and 5, or 6, 7, and 8, man. That's it. Of course, 2 teams can go through the same door, man.
I see. That means one team would get left behind.
That's right.
That doesn't happen if we go through door 7 or 8?
No, they're fine, man. We've got 3 options. Santa began to explain. Notice how I went from Santa and slowly transitioned into the narrator.
That was pretty slick.
Thank you. Yeah, man, he kind of sounds like that, and it goes like that.
Whoa.
Whoa.
What a trip.
Okay, so 7 and 8, 7 with 3, 5, and 8, 8 with 4, 6, 7,
Okay.
7 with 4, 5, 7, and 8 with 3, 6, 8. Or C, go through 7 with 3, 6, and 7, and go through 8 with 4, 5, 8.
Okay. So I never can remember which number I am.
You're
because
5.
I don't have a code
You're
name.
lucky number 5.
Okay.
Or my lucky number 5. That's how
Yeah.
I was able to always remember it.
I can remember it because Junpei has 5 letters in his name.
Oh, okay. Wait. No, he has 6.
Like I said, I can remember it because... Anyway.
Those are the only 3 options, man. So that's it. At least if we want to get all 6 of us out of here, okay? And that's when Junpei realized. Okay, so plan A divides into 2 teams. And, okay, we're basically just going over what we already did.
Right.
But I guess what they're doing is so that way we can see all of them together on one screen. I think that's what that was.
Okay.
There was one thing they all had in common. In every single combination, 5 and 6 were never on the same team. In other words, if all 6 people were to move forward, Junpei and June would be separated. Oh, that makes me sad.
Tragedy.
June and Junpei had been friends when they were kids. He trusted her more than anyone else on the ship. If he chose 7 or 8, he'd be taken away from her. Was that something he was prepared to do? Anyway, man, that's the deal, so think it over, okay? You got 2 choices, you got 7 or 8. You can't choose 3, okay? If you choose 3, you're going to be leaving 3 people behind to die. So what are you going to do, man? 7 or 8, time to choose. Junpei thought hard. After thinking it over, his conclusion was...
So I can keep hammering away at 3? Would you recommend that for the sake of interestingness, or should I change my mind?
Well...
Do you want to leave this one to me?
Well...
You seem so conflicted, and I have no idea what's going through your head.
Well, that's good. You're not a mind reader. There might be some disturbing things you might see up there, but...
More disturbing than the things we've seen in this game? Maybe I don't want to know the answer to that. Anyway. Doors.
Yeah.
Yep. 3? Okay, let's check it out. Sorry, Santa, but I still want to go through door 3.
What? That's nuts, man! You gotta be crazy! Why are you so obsessed with that door, man?
I'm just...
Why are you obsessed with the doorman?
Doorman. The superhero, you know.
Yeah, I'm doorman. I open the doors for you.
I have...
Right this way, miss, in this open door. And I also close the door.
I have absolute power over doors. No door can hold me, except for the one that's locked that I can't pick the lock on.
That reminds me of a character in One Piece. He has the door fruit, and he can create doors out of anything. In fact, there was even a part where he uses the door fruit on the door power on Luffy's face, and so his eyes kept spinning around like a revolving door.
Whoa.
So weird.
The disturbing power.
But naturally, what he likes to do most is create an air door, and so that way it's almost like, think of it kind of like a teleporting, where he opens a door and then opens the door somewhere else. So it's really cool like that. Or he can use it if there's a wall blocking you, and you can use that door to get onto the other side of that wall. So it's got some cool powers, but the weird revolving door thing on Luffy's face was weird.
I'm not entirely sure I'd want to see that myself.
No,
Anyway.
it was funny. He's like, the world is spinning. I can't make it stop. And
Oh, gosh.
okay, so
I'm just curious about door 3, that's all.
That doesn't explain anything, man. Doesn't explain poop.
I've got a reason. I'd be happy to explain it to you if you'll just come with me.
With that, he began walking toward the door.
So am I gonna bring Santa through with me?
Their curiosity likely getting the better of them, the others followed. A few of them looked a little suspicious, but Junpei told himself that wouldn't matter. He kept walking and kept silent. Eventually, they arrived at the number 3 door. Junpei stopped.
I'm curious about the red. 7, would you mind authenticating for me? Huh? Why? Please, just do it. Okay.
So he stared at Junpei. Okay, so anyways. 7 does that.
Happy? Yeah, thanks.
I'm never happy. The number 7 had been entered into the red.
Next is June. Please touch the red, just like 7 did.
Jumpy, what are you trying to figure out?
Junpei thought about his answer for a moment.
I think I might have found another way out. Huh?
What?
Really?
That got them excited. Just as Junpei had intended.
Now, please, June.
Okay.
Okay, so math. And that equals 4. And he casually placed his own hand on the scanner and the third asterisk blinked on. And so that equals 9.
Alright. The only people who haven't authenticated now are Santa, Clover, and Lotus. So? What's your point? You don't get it? Think about it. What's the sum of your number and Clover's? 12! And what's the digital root of that? 3! Which is Santa's number. By the way, Lotus, what's the number that's currently in the red? Math, it would be 9, right? Yes. And what will the digital root be if you add 3 to that? 3! The door's number! There you go.
Hey, wait a minute, man. What are you doing? What are you up to, man?
I'm not up to anything. I'm just waiting.
Waiting for what?
I'm waiting for the balance to shift. Santa, or Lotus and Clover. Once one of you moves, the others won't have a choice. So I'm waiting.
Junpei laid his hand almost casually on the lever.
Oh, I am the chess master.
You son of a female dog! You tricked us, man! Then all that stuff you were going on about is stupid and bull-poopy.
Stupid? Bull-poopy? I don't think so. Didn't I tell you I'd figured out another way to get out of here? This is it.
Why would you do something like this, man? Junpei glanced at June.
Jumpy.
You did this just so you can go through the same door as June? That's it? Santa was furious. His face was red, and flecks of spit flew from his lips as he spoke like I am right now.
I am a selfish, lying son of a gun.
Junpei closed his eyes calmly and then opened them again.
Now, see, isn't this more interesting than just going through 8?
Yeah. Being a jerk is fun.
But it almost makes you hate Junpei at the same time.
Yeah. So, who's it gonna be? Santa or Lotus and Clover?
Poop.
We're going! Clover!
Lotus leapt forward. She grabbed Clover by the sleeve and ran for Junpei and the door. Caught by surprise, Santa froze for a moment because it's cold and he hates cold. Santa, cold.
North Pole.
North Pole. Then shot forward like a bullet from a gun. And then Lotus had a head start, but Santa had the advantage in size and speed. And Santa just passed Lotus, but Lotus is catching up right behind her.
No, we can't let him win! His voice is too easy to do!
I'm not even going to try to do a Clover thing, because...
Better save yourself.
Yeah. Almost immediately, he passed Lotus and Clover. He's leaning in towards the finish line.
Wait!
And Lotus reaches forward, but Santa slaps your hand out of the way as he reaches towards in slow motion Matrix style.
Oh no, what's gonna happen?
He slammed his head down on the red.
No!
This is insane, man. This isn't right. He glared at Junpei, his chest heaving.
Yes, well, you may be right.
Junpei's voice was cold, but not without effort. He turned to the red and pulled the lever.
I'm surprised Santa wanted to be with me after that stunt.
He wants to live.
I guess he doesn't know that we're gonna come back around once we solve the room.
With the sound of metal on metal, the door opened. It would only remain so for 9 seconds. There was no time to think.
Go!
Junpei and his 3 reluctant companions jumped into the door's gaping mouth, one after another.
It's a gap.
It's a gaping mouth. No sooner did they enter than an all-too-familiar noise sounded from their left wrist.
Just ticky time on the wrist doodle
So the
things.
detonators have been activated, and Junpei looked back only once and saw Lotus and Clover on the other side of the closing door. They stood still, stopped where they had been when Santa reached the red. The defeat and desperation on their faces tore at Junpei's heart.
Oh, he does have a heart.
And the door closed, and they were gone.
Junpei, you murderer! You just killed 2 people!
You son of a gun, Junpei. This isn't fair. Santa rounded on Junpei, lightning crackling in his eyes and his knuckles white, like his hair. Do you realize what you just did, man? You leave them out there and they can't...
Shut it.
They can't shut it, man.
That's enough. They can't shut it because it's already shut.
It hadn't been Junpei that spoke, but 7.
We gotta find the dead, or none of this is gonna matter.
The clock was ticking. The dead was their only chance at survival. Unless they could find it and deactivate their detonators, the 4 of them would be...
We got less than a minute left. No time for screwing around. Get moving.
They scattered and began to scour the room. The deactivation device was nowhere to be found. Corridors stretched out in 3 directions, but everyone was blocked off by a wall of metal. There was only one way out. One other door.
There.
7 ran for the door, a rusty iron thing.
Oh, that's not really that descriptive.
His large hands grabbed hold of the handle and pulled. The room inside was pitch black. They could see nothing beyond this small patch of a light that spilled through the doorway. Junpei stuck his head through the door and looked around the room. Almost immediately, he spotted the blinking red light on the right wall.
I found it.
Not the wrong wall, it's the right wall.
The dead's right over here.
He stepped into the room. Ew. Nearly fell down. The floor was slippery.
What?
He stopped and glanced down at his feet. What was? Hey, what do you...
Hey,
what do you...
whoa,
Oh, sorry, I thought it said Santa.
Whoa. Yeah, all these people with names that
S's.
start with S. Yeah. Anyway.
7. Snake and Santa.
Hey, what the junk are you doing? Get over there.
Junpei felt Seva's heavy hand across his back and stumbled across the room. The other 3 piled in behind him. They all felt immediately that something was wrong. Nothing that could be easily identified, only a sense that something terrible shared the room with them. But there was no time to say so.
Quick, get to the dead.
They all started running. In the dark, it was hard to tell where the wall was. All they could see was the tiny red light blinking at them over and over and over. Finally, suddenly, they were there. In quick succession, they all slammed their hands across the scanner panel.
There we go. We're in the clear now.
What a relief. 7 leaned against the wall, gulping air. As his breathing began to return to normal, he glanced at his left wrist and grunted.
Ugh. It stopped. It stopped.
Junpei could hear him laughing in the dark, but could barely make out the larger man's face. What the... The sound of retching came from Santa's direction. What is this smell, man? This is vile. I'm gonna puke. So desperate they had been in their race to the dead that no one had noticed the horrible smell that pervaded the room. It was a terrible, nauseating stench like burnt and rotten meat. Adrenaline had drowned it out, but now it rolled over Junpei in waves, forcing itself into his nose with every breath he took. He felt his stomach clench and bile rise up in his throat.
Let's get the lights on first. There's a switch over here.
The light that spilled from the door barely illuminated on a small switch plate next to the door. Slowly, with the toll of the last few minutes apparent in his gait, 7 walked toward it.
Lights on. Come on. Let's see the remains of that dead man.
Hold on. Let's move. Let's go to the next episode to reveal.
Okay. Yes, we'll see if I'm right and whether it's the 9's mortal remains again or not.
Yeah, I moved from the door 5 and now I'm in door 3. I really am a zombie.
Anyway, we'll see you guys next episode.
Goodbye.